This is RFC Maki with the latest in my flight reports from an online game of Birds of Steel. In this game, I've been going back and flying some of the lesser powerful planes. I've been choosing the MC-202, recently just trying to earn my Italian Kills medal. And so this is a game from this past weekend night that I flew with a couple other pilots. The one flying above me was somebody who goes by the name of Bodhisattva. He's clearly a very good pilot. He's flying the MC-200. The arrow, minus the lightning, has the arrow. And he was actually a much better pilot than I was, and I believe you'll begin to see that at the beginning of this flight report. These games are all from the online game of Birds of Steel. This is an online run that I was hosting. I fly in pilot mode there, only inside the cockpit, and in this game we're playing on the Ruhr map. I'm trying to capture the center objective. My map told me that there was a bomber coming in. So he's there. I dropped down too slowly to go after him, so I go to reverse him, and Bodhisattva, who flew after me and had circled the airfield with me to get some altitude, he takes his MC-200 and down at the bomber. I took a few extra pot shots just to make sure that he was going down, but Bodhisattva got that first kill before I could do anything about it, which I was pretty impressed with. I find it very difficult to manipulate that plane, and he handled it incredibly well right off the bat. So I reversed to head back towards the center of the field, and it didn't take long to figure out that Bodhi was on my tail again, following along very close to me. I couldn't see him so much from my cockpit, but my map indicated that he was flying along with me. So we both head towards the center of the map. After he gets one bomber kill, that was another player on the opposing side who seems determined to destroy our bases. And very quickly I spot a couple of the planes and climb to go after this guy, who looks to be, if I remember right, in a Spitfire, probably an AI in the Spitfire Mark 1. I'm shooting from a long distance away, but just trying to get any hits on him whatsoever. I'm also catching up to him, so the Spitfire takes a recent dive, rolls an extra 90 degrees, and then pulls up, rolls, and then pulls up again, eventually. So what I'm doing, I think, was a pretty good job of staying on his tail. When he begins to climb, however, at this point, I find myself a little bit lower on energy now and very close to the ground. The AI had the advantage of having the arcade boost bug, so I'm shooting always below this guy. I have a difficult time climbing up. You can see the shots from Bodhisattva above me. I'm not sure which one of us it was that put the smoke in the back of this guy. It might have been me, but I stopped firing because I didn't want to shoulder shoot and I didn't want to compete, and here I was just trying not to smack wings with Bodhi. So right off the bat, I go after two pilots. Bodhi's finished them both off. 2 kills for him, none for me so far. And it's at this point that he and I split and go our own separate ways, each doing something a little bit different. I'm near the center of the map, so I'm trying to climb again. I'm really enjoying the MC-202. As you can see, this is the skin you earn for 30 online player kills. I don't know if it's historic at all. It claims to be, but I've never seen this image drawn anywhere else. But here I spotted what looked like on the map somebody else going after our airfield. You could see some explosions in the center, so I'm racing after that. But after scanning for a second or three, it became apparent to me that whoever had gone in to bomb my airfield had probably crashed along the way, and so I reversed. I gave up on this chase, seeing that there was nobody there, and headed back towards the middle of the field with an attempt to climb. The challenge with this MC-202 is that it does not have cannons, and so I'm firing almost entirely machine guns, a bank of machine guns, which makes it difficult to bring down enemy, or harder to bring down enemy planes than it does to hit them with cannons. Plus, convergence matters a little bit more in this plane than it does in some of the others. So headed back nearly, the center of the map is over the city, so I'm nearly at the center of the city. And I have spotted an enemy plane there whose profile seemed to me at the time a little bit different than some of the other AI planes. And so I initiate a lead turn. Eventually I discovered that this was in fact a P-40. The pilot is flying very smoothly. without much moving up and down, which is kind of characteristic of the AI. So I'm on this guy's tail pretty well. Don't know why he's flying as slow as he is, but I lined up a shot, filled him with lead here, and then managed to bump wings with him. I was credited with a kill. I believe he was also credited with a kill, which is what happens when you bang into somebody. So I did get one more kill towards my total, but this was not the kind of kill I was looking for, and I crashed into the ground. So far in the game, I lost 2 kills to Bodhi, who outflew me and outshot me, and I get my only kill on what appears to be a wing collision rather than an actual in-plane kill. So, looking kind of sad, I go to take off again from the airstrip, noticing very quickly that there was a bomber bearing down on my airstrip very quickly. And so, seeing that this guy's coming in, I thought he was going to come after me, but I lift off a little sooner than I would, try and turn really early, get my flaps up, get my wheels up, and then dangerously pulling maneuver in order to reverse. Now, if I were flying something like the Folgore 190 or one of the heavier, maybe 110, the BF-110, I think I would have a difficult time in reversing, staying in the air. But I managed to get up. The smoke is giving me a clue where this guy is, so I'm trying to take a shot. He's actually already reversed, so I'm just trying to lay any kind of hits on him that I can. He goes after a ground crew, and with his nose cannons, he destroys those. I believe this guy's flying a Beaufighter, if I remember right, and I am now on his tail. I'm flying way lower than I think I should, but it's easier to spot a low-flying plane against the sky than it is to spot him against those trees. So I tried some lead shots here, so I can't get him to drift through them as I try to catch up. I don't know what happened at this point, but I was chasing him, and he just began to drop his nose and dove into the bank. It looks like I did in fact manage to hit him and bring him down, so that becomes a second kill, although this one without my own death, in the MC-202. And our airfield was pretty much damaged at this point, having been hit repeatedly by the same enemy player. So I'm moving back into the middle of the map again to try to find another enemy to kill. This game didn't last nearly as long as most of them do, so I think part of that was due to the high number of kills and due to the damage to the enemy's trip. Now, this was a gladiator moving towards my airfield and moving in a way that did not seem very AI-like, so I went after him. And he's wiggling and I'm moving around, so I did get a single hit, hit the oil tank of this gladiator, and had to slow down to stay behind him. Again, no clear hits. I'm rocking back and forth. When you're angled like that, you're not converting all your machine guns in the same spot. He's closer than my targeting angle, but lining him up slowly there, using the force a little bit, I managed to get the last hit on him and down to that gladiator. I actually don't recall anymore whether that was a player in a gladiator or whether that was an enemy plane. Enemy planes don't normally go after your airfield, but on occasion they will drift over your airfield, and so I'm not sure which one that one was. So I'm moving back to the center of the field there with a kill on a Beaufighter and a kill on a gladiator, and then one on a P-40 just from the collision. And I have not seen Bodhisattva again in the game, although he's been running around causing trouble as well. So now I'm back in the center of the field, and once again you can see that kind of slow pace glitch. And once again there is activity back at the airfield, so that one particular player who was coming after our airfield was doing so diligently and doggedly, and so I was trying to check out that direction to see if maybe I could spot where he went. Usually if it sits still, it means I'm checking the map kind of quickly to see if I can spot anybody around, and I was having difficulty finding whatever player was over here. Parachute hitting down, one player moving left to right on the map wasn't what I was looking for, so I'm really sacrificing my altitude and energy here. I'm just trying to get a good view on my own airfield back there, and there's someone taking off above me who looks like to be one of my own planes, and they're drifting just over my reticle. You can see an enemy plane, probably the bomber that I was looking for, heading back to my airfield, so I'm riskily flying kind of low because that's where the bomber is. There's the explosion up ahead of me, showing where he's hit the airfield again. and a little bit of a lag in the game, but I'm watching the smoke, looking for the plane to turn. There he is, initiating a lead turn again, and hopefully hitting him a couple times as he drifts through, but we're already going opposite directions. So now I'm just trying to reverse to get on him. Of course, there's the problem with the nose. I had to drop speed here to keep from overshooting him. But that didn't seem to help. I did overshoot him, drift in front of his nose, and he didn't even take a shot at me, so I think he was a bit surprised. So usually in this case, when I'm overshooting, I climb up, look down, and then drop down to the enemy target again. He moved from my right to my left there, and so I tried to look to see if I could find where he went. Began my turn actually before I visually spotted him, and then saw him at the end of the run strip there, and so now I'm following after him again. Again, he's going after and punishing my ground armor. I'm trying to hold off my shots in order not to tip him off that I'm here until I can get a little bit closer, staying low below him so he can't see me very well. And once he starts his turn, that's when I started to turn with him. And there I was going to pull up. I shot him down. I was going to pull up and not risk running into him. So that gives me sort of 4 player kills, one of which came at my own sacrifice. Not a bad outcome for this game, given that I lost 2 kills right off the bat. Another plane goes diving in towards my airstrip, so I went after this guy as well. And he dropped a bomber, blew something up, and very cinematically I chose to fly through it. But the game ended.